There we go. And I want to welcome everybody to today's success meetup. Wow. We are going to be talking about editing your website and hacking into your widgets and making some changes that you might want to do, to make your website a little more personable. Maybe you don't like that it looks like everybody else's and you want to make some changes. And we're going to go over how to do that. So just to do my little spiel, we do these success meetups usually Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern. If you are watching this later on YouTube and want to attend these live, scan the QR code and come see us because not only will you learn something new, but at the end I'll open it up for questions and you can ask me anything your heart desires. It doesn't have to be on the topic, anything KV Core related. All right. I'm gonna start my video. I'm going to out of there. I'm gonna stop my share. And I'm gonna go to the other side of my screen. So I've got a couple of screens working here. And we'll go over how to do all that stuff today. So welcome again. My name is Heather, and we're gonna go over doing some coding hacks on your KV Core website. So let's share the other screen. And let me get over to here. So I'm going to show you a couple of things. First of all, let me get to, I don't want to do that actually. I still have snow on mine. This is my little demo account here, and I'm going to, I have all sorts of junk on here. But basically, actually, I took that off. Over here. Okay, so on your KV Core, if you go into your Web and IDX and go into your website manager, you have access to all these things called widgets. And there are all types of different widgets on here. And if you look down here, when you're building your widgets, when you're building your website, you can just click on the little eyeball and you can see, hey, this is what this widget will look like. All of the widgets go all the way across your screen with the exception of these that say half. And what I'm going to teach you today does not apply to the halvesies. If you want to edit the halvesies, I did a whole hour on that a while back. I will stick the recording of that in the chat. And if you're looking to do those, you'll want to watch this one. Yeah, we did it last September. I'll stick that in the chat for you guys. But I did that one before we had the rest of these. So we had all of these. And then if you didn't know, should I go back to my website manager here? On the, when you go to your settings, what we did was we have different default templates that we didn't used to have. And with those templates came a bunch of widgets. So some of you, like let's say you are a Remax agent, you might not have access to all of these templates because Remax paid for their own template, just so it looks like kind of something like this. However, just because they have a certain template does not mean that you don't have access to all of the widgets from all the other templates. So just know that if you want to do other widgets that are in the other templates, you can add them in your widget section. So let's go on back to your Web and IDX in your website manager, and we'll go back to your widgets. Now I have a bunch of widgets on here already, like I said, but let's say that you want to make some changes to these widgets. Give me just a sec. Okay, so basically, let me find out why this is happening here. I might actually go, I'm gonna stop my share a second. Let me go to Kellen's account actually, because mine can be a little messy because I have a couple different accounts. So let me go here. All right, let me share my screen again. Yeah, this is better because this one actually doesn't have anything on it. So we can start from scratch. So I'm going to share my screen. This is Kelly's website. And a lot of times when you start out with like nothing, you end up with this very generic widget here along with your carousels. And if we go into her Web and IDX, go to her website manager, and go to her widgets, you can see that she doesn't have any widgets on here. Now, this is an older account, and it really depends when you came on board. We used to have a what's called a site editor. So this little widget here is actually this one, the property type widget. But you can see that that's not listed over here. So one of two things is happening. Either you're inheriting that down from your parent website. So if you're an agent on a team, you might be inheriting from your team. You might be inheriting from your company. So if your company's made a bunch of edits, you can stick with what your company has done, or you can start making changes on your own. I'm just going to check it out. If you go back up to your site editor, everyone has a site editor, and this is separate from your widgets. What a site editor does is it allows you to do custom codes. So if you have someone who, and this is definitely the case here, this guy is not a widget, actually, it's in the site editor. So if you have an older account, this might be the case for you. If you have a newer account, this will probably be empty. Just know that if you are just a master coder and you want to code some beautiful things for your website, you can go in here and do as much coding as you like. And, you can put in anything you want to and make it anything, right? I'm not a coder, so I don't know how to do that. But if you have this in here and you don't want it in here, you can just take it out. And then you don't have to worry about it. So I'm just going to take it out. I'm going to save it. And now we'll go back to her platform. This should go away. And sometimes it does take a little while for things to populate to your website. You've made some changes, but it did. So now it's empty. So now we're working kind of with a clean slate. So again, if you want to look at your widgets and decide what you want on there, all you have to do is add them and they'll show up on this side. So my favorite widget to do, which we're not going to go over today really, is the featured area widget. It looks like this, where you can put in your areas and link them to searches. So I highly recommend doing that. If we have time later, I can show you guys how to do that. But some of the other things you can put in, for instance, might be you want a contact us button, or you want to add a widget for luxury listings, or you want to add one that talks about your blog post, right? So I'm going to put in a couple of different ones here and we're going to play with them. So the first one I'm going to put in that I really like is, I do like the contact us one. I'm going to add that. Then I'm going to add the luxury one, luxury listings. Then I'm going to add this one, which is lets people sign up for a market report. And to finish it off, I'm going to add a blog post one. And again, you can switch these around and they will reorder on your website. So now if you click the preview button, take this off, it should have those 4 widgets on there now. Take a second to load here. So here we go. So now we've got the contact us, we've got the luxury listings, we've got, are you curious about your market? And we've got the blog. Now, you might say to yourself, well, I don't like what this says. Get your home sold fast for top dollar, contact us, and it goes to our contact us page. And you might say, well, I want it to go instead to my sell page. I don't want it to go to the contact us page. Remember when I said I'm not a coder? And I'm not, but there's a little bit of code in each of these that you can alter to make it do what you want it to do. So in this particular situation, if you wanted to go to your sell page instead, which is if you haven't used your seller evaluation page, it's a great place to send people to. They can put in their home value, get their home value instantly, but you get their address. And if they want to see the whole report, you would get their email and phone number as well. So we're going to go here and grab that link and go back to the contact us widget. And we're going to edit it. And it has all of this fun stuff in here. But really, it's just the very end that you have to worry about. So I scroll all the way to the bottom. And in KB Core land, this is the contact us page. And you might say, well, the contact me page is my whole URL /contact. But in KB Core land, when you leave your URL out and just put the ending on, it assumes that it's whatever the URL is on that page. So let's say you're a team member and you're editing this for your whole team. Well, you're not going to want to put your team's sell page in here because it would go to your whole team sell page and that would trickle down to your agents. You would want to take, so if you put that in there, you would want to take out your team website and just have the ending. That way, no matter what level they're on, so if they're on your team member's website or your team website or wherever, it's going to assume the URL of the site that widget is living on at that time, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, let me know if you have a question about that. So we've changed it now. So if I save that, now when I go here, oopsie daisy, let's go back to site. It should, it might take a minute, like I said, we'll see how this goes, to do that. So if you click here now, it goes to the seller page instead. And you might say, well, gee whiz, the contact us doesn't make a lot of sense to me in that situation. I want the button to say something different. I want the button to say, contact me today to determine next steps. Could say contact us. You might want the button to say, get your value now. So back to the contact us. If we edit this again, scroll all the way down. Right here. So this is where we changed the link. This right here is where we're changing what the button says. So the button says contact us, but if we change it to get your home value now and save it and preview. Let's take that out so it's in cache. Get your home value now. And maybe you don't like what this says. So you can change any of these things. You just have to find it in the code. So again, if I edit this, go all the way to the bottom. This is, see where this says between the two P's? This is what that says. You could say, contact me today, blah, blah, blah. Comma, and get your instant home valuation, period. Yeah, save it. And again, we're going to preview it. So every single thing on here can be edited. You just have to know where it is in the code, and is usually at the bottom of the code. So see, and it changed it right there. So now I wanted to show you kind of where you can edit some other stuff. So like luxury listings, for instance, let's say the way the luxury listings works, by the way, if you're like, well, where does that really go? Is it goes to a link for everything over, I think that's 1,500,000. And you might be like, well, gee whiz, my luxury listings in my area are anything over 700. They're not over 1,500,000. Or maybe your luxury listings, maybe you live in San Francisco and 1,500,000 is just like a rundown house. And you need your luxury listings to be over 5 million or whatever. So it's the same thing. If you go, and I'm actually going to go out of here and I'm going to make a squeeze page. So I'm going to go to my, oh gee, hang on. I got to see where my listings are for this particular website. Florida. Okay. So Jacksonville. Okay. So if we did build squeeze and we did Jacksonville. Or and you could do you could do all the counties. So if you want to be your whole MLS, you could do all your counties or something like that. And we say, I want everything that is minimum. So like Jacksonville might be, I don't know, Jacksonville, but let's say everything over 700K, not 1.5, right? And then if we generate that link, now we're going to take that link and we're going to replace it. So I'm going to put it on a Google Doc so that you don't lose it. And I go back to my Web9X and I go to my widgets and I edit this. Again, scroll all the way to the bottom. This is that. So it's between the two quotation marks and you're just going to replace it. And if you're doing this, like I said, for your team or something, you want to take out the base URL. Just start with everything after the slash and save it. Now it's going to go to everything over 700 instead of over 1.5 million. The last thing I want to show you guys is, I think it's this one. Post. Yeah. Is let's say that you have the blog post one and you are like, I don't like, let me go back, hang on. I don't like this picture. I think this picture sucks. I want a different picture. You can change your picture by changing the link inside your code. So I'm going to show you that too. So let's say I'm going to go to Canva. Now, the size of your picture matters because if it's like this, it's going to be like that. If you're looking at it it depends on the size of the screen. So you want it to be, for this particular one, it kind of depends on which widget you're talking about. But for this particular one, you might want it to be, I'd probably do, oh, I don't know, 1,000 by 500 or something like that. So if I did pixels, and I wanted to put in a different photo. Let's say I wanted this photo, right? I'm going to get this onto my computer. And then if you look at the code again, the way that you know where the picture is right here. It's going to be a link. And the link always ends in either PNG or JPEG because it's a picture. So what you need to do is you need to take that picture and get a link for it. You're saying, well, how do I do that? Well, the easiest way to do it is to pretend that you're making a blog post. You're not going to really post this. You're going to add a post, add a picture to your post. Save it. And if you go here and go to the code, same thing, there it is. And this one was a PNG, not a JPEG, but it'll work. So you're going to copy that. I'm going to put it on my page so I don't lose it just in case. And then I'm going to go back to and this you can just edit, just cancel this all out. So that picture is now in the web universe. I don't know how that works, but it does. And now if we go back to our widgets, let me go back to our blog posts. We go down here, we're going to find that put it right here and save it. Now I could have broken it. I hope it works. There you go. Different picture. So all of those things are different ways that you can edit your code inside of your widgets to make them be and say pretty much anything you want them to be and say. That makes sense. One little thing I would say about changing the picture in your coding, go back to the blog post here. You see how it says alt, picture of person on a laptop. I don't need to change this because I just did another picture of a person on a laptop. But basically, what this is for people that are blind, Google can tell them what the pictures are if they click on them. And Google kind of dings you if you don't tell them what the picture is of. And so it's important to do on the front page of your website to have that. So you could leave it alone, or you could, if you put in picture of a blog post, you could say picture of blog post. It doesn't matter what you say here, but it's just that you can tell, Google can tell people who can't see it what it is. And so that's important too. So anyway, that is how you hack all your widgets if you want to. Does anyone have any questions about how to do that? All right. Does anyone want me to go over the featured area widget? Chat me up yes if you want to see that or not. Anybody? Happy to go over it because we've got a bunch of time left. Yes. Okay. We're doing it. Yes and yes. Yay. Okay. So the featured area widget, I've done this on a couple other sessions, but this is my very favorite widget because what it does is it really makes you hyper local on your website. So I'm going to add that in. And all you have to do is you have to edit it. And this is a different editing than all the rest of them. This is an actual like drag and drop easy edit. So you click add area and you can say, where are my areas that I care about? So I can say, well, Jacksonville is an area that I service. Whatever you put here will be the name of the box. So it could be Jacksonville, but maybe Jacksonville is the only place you service and you want to put some different things. So I could say Jacksonville Pool Homes. And then I'm going to make my search. So it's going to be Jacksonville, Florida. And I care about, I only want them to see single family townhouses and let's say condos. If you leave it blank, it's going to do everything. And now I want it to just be homes with pools, right? And then I need to put an image in. Go back to Canva. A good size is a Facebook post size. So I could say, now you would use a picture of maybe a house that you've recently sold in Florida. Pamela, I'll show you where this shows up in a minute. Hang on just a second. Let's go to photos. House with pool. All right, we got a house with a pool. And we are going to, okay, so you want to make sure you have a picture on your website or on your computer. So you're going to upload an image. It's not going to let you save what you did until you put an image in. So even if you don't have an image, you want to come back later and edit it, you can, but put an image in so you can save your work thus far. So you're going to open your file. You're going to browse. You're going to click it. You're going to open it. And it's going to upload that to your media library. Then you're going to choose it and insert it. So now this is what the box is going to say. This is the search the box is going to go to. So everything in Jacksonville, that's pool homes. And this is what the image is going to look like. So you're going to save it. And now you have Jacksonville pool homes. If you save the whole widget, preview that right now. Goes right here, Jacksonville pool homes. And if I click on it, it's going to take me to all the pool homes in Jacksonville, right? You and Pamela, to your question, where will this show up? It shows up right, like I said, right there. Go back to the page. Right here. But if you don't want it to, if you want it to show up underneath thinking of selling, all you would do is drag and drop it down. And that would go on up top, and this would go next. And then you could edit it some more. You could say Jacksonville new construction. Or you could just do new construction and do all the counties in your area or something like that. So it would be newly built, right? I'd add an image. No, I have other pictures of houses in here. There we go. Let's see, this is newly built. Now I'm going to choose this one instead, insert it. You got that one right there. I'm going to save it. Now you have two. So we'll go back to preview. And what it will do is it will just push the other one over in the row. I remember I drug that up to the top, so now this is above it. And now I've got Jacksonville Pool Homes, Jacksonville New Construction. I would, these look the best, oopsies, in rows of three. So I would do 3, 3, 3 if you're going to do it. And that's how you do that guy right there. And obviously you might want to think about changing, like if you see the way this looks, you're like, oh, I don't like it. You know, you might want to just do new construction. It's a little too long. It's not meant to be that long, really. So if you want to go ahead and edit it, you just click on it. You just want to say new construction instead. You know, and I want this to say pool homes. Save. So it just depends what you want to do. And that might look a little better on here. But that's how you, there you go. Yeah, that looks a little better. That's how you do your feature area widget. So I highly recommend doing that. So you can do types, you can do areas, whatever you want to do. Okay. Anyone else have any questions on that? All right, Coolio. Who has questions about anything KV Core related? Anything at all? You can raise your hand. You can put it in the Q&A. You can put it in the chat. Happy to answer anything at all. It doesn't have to be about your website. Nobody? Don't be shy. I know you got questions. It's like office hours. We can all learn from each other. All right, guys. Well, if no one has any questions, I will shut her down. And oh, yay, here comes one. If we make a change to the website, is there a lag time before it shows up on the active site? Not usually, but sometimes it can. So it just kind of depends on those kinds of things. If it's been a while and it's still showing up that way, you might want to clear your cache. So sometimes your computer is caching, your browser is caching, and I will give you the, if you stick, I'll put this in the chat. Like yesterday, I was messing around and it took about 5 minutes for, I'm glad it's kind of doing it today. Just kind of depends on how things are going in internet land. But I'll put this in the chat. If you stick this on the end of any of your website and do that, it's going to flush the cache for you. So you don't have to flush, like you don't have to like clear the cache for your whole computer or all of your history. This would just be for your account. KV Core. And then I think what I did, if I remember, yeah, I did it. So if you want to learn about doing the half ones, I know I said I put it in here and I did, but I sent it to myself instead of all of you. So I'm going to do that again. There's the YouTube for that as well. Anybody else have any questions? Thoughts, muses, requests? Nothing. All right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure as always. And we actually had to cancel tomorrow's meetup, just FYI, because the trainers are busy doing some other stuff, but we'll be back on Tuesday of next week. And check in the Facebook page, Facebook group. Actually, I'll stick this in the chat. We always post the topics for the following week. I try and get those in the Facebook page by Friday afternoon. There you go. All right. Hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your week. Take care, everybody. Bye.